On today's Live Daily News, a Northside chase across San Angelo lands 2 people in jail, a local restaurateur gives back to the police department, an election malfunction this morning, and Congressman Pfluger talks about Pflugerfest. All that plus more. I'm Yantis Green, and this is Live. But before we get to the news, hunting season is here, and of course, what better place to take your harvest than over at Sklenarek's Smoked Meats in Miles. Whether big game or small, Sklenarek's does it all. Bring your work to the best smokehouse in the Concho Valley over at 108 South Robinson in Miles, Texas at Sklenarek's Smoked Meats. Now, on to the news. The San Angelo Police Department reports that it was involved in a chase that ended with 2 individuals getting arrested Saturday. Officials located a suspicious vehicle in the 3100 block of a Northside street, and a black Tahoe ended up fleeing from that location when a traffic stop was attempted. The chase was terminated, though, later due to safety concerns after the chase took place down Sherwood Way. But the Tahoe was later located at College Hills and Loop 306 after a mechanical failure. 32-year-old Edward Crisp was arrested on several charges, as was his passenger, 35-year-old Ashley Perez, who had a warrant out for her arrest from the county. In a show of support today amidst the debate on police pay in San Angelo, Tim Condon of Lone Star Cheeseburger delivered 125 cheeseburgers to San Angelo police officers. Each cheeseburger bore a sticker with a pro-police message, subtly critiquing the city of San Angelo's current stance on police wages. The San Angelo Police Officers Coalition warns that inadequate pay could lead to a 10% reduction in their force as officers look elsewhere for better pay. They are pressing for a $2.4 million annual increase in police payroll to prevent that. Negotiations with the city have stalled. This dispute has stirred concerns about property tax increases. To cover the police payroll without cuts in other areas, property taxes could rise by 3.13 cents. A similar raise for firefighters who lack a bargaining unit like the police could mean an even steeper hike. City Manager Daniel Valenzuela acknowledges the lag in emergency services pay and aims for a salary agreement by January of 2024, in a couple of months. Any interim pay raises could mean relocating funds or tapping into the city's reserves, and all of that could increase the city's property tax rate in the next fiscal year. Monday's lunch donation by Tim Condon, the notable local taxpayer, is a gesture that emphasizes the community's support for police and the urgency of addressing their compensation. For more on the implications of a police pay raise, see that story on SanAngeloLive.com. Also today is Election Day, and right out of the box, the TxDOT voting location, the polling place there, experienced some difficulties when counting the ballots. You heard that story here first. Others have followed. An unexpected glitch in the voting system caused the ballot scanner to go into alert mode. Elections Administrator Ivana Hudson told San Angelo Live reporters that this malfunction prevented workers from resolving the issue promptly. The scanner breakdown is significant, especially on Election Day, but there are protocols in place. Each ballot is securely stored until the polls close at 7 o'clock tonight. Then they'll be transported to the elections office downtown and counted there. Also, a popular restaurant has temporarily closed one of their locations in San Angelo. Wingstop in Southwest Plaza is currently closed and orders won't go through. But don't worry too much, though. After speaking with the manager at the 29th Street Wingstop, which is still open, they said that the local franchises are just remodeling the Southwest Plaza location and are looking to reopen that restaurant at the end of next month. Turning to weather, the next couple of days are still looking nice and warm. The high today will be a little higher than expected. It'll actually be in the lower 90s. Overnight will be a pleasant 60 degrees. Tomorrow, look for highs to settle in around 89 degrees with a low of 52, with cloud cover increasing. Now, Thursday, there's a cold front coming in. There's a 60% chance of rain in San Angelo with a high temperature of about 54 degrees and a low of 45 that night. Expect those showers to continue through the night on Thursday, and then on Friday there's a 20% chance of showers in the morning, but that should give way to a cloudy and cool day. The high is currently forecast at 58 with a low of 44 Friday night. Finally, Congressman August Pfluger took time out of his busy schedule in Washington to zoom in with Joe Hyde today. But before that, Cover One analyst Ryan Chadwick talked with ASU head coach Jeff Gersh about the Rams' playoff chances. We'll get to that after a word from the Bass Bunch.
If you're looking for a spacious SUV, this is probably a top pick. The rear spoiler and the roof rack just add to give it a sportier and more polished look. Oh, did I mention we discounted it $6,000 off MSRP?
Get a new 24 Nissan Murano Platinum and get $6,000 off MSRP. Jim Bass Nissan, Houston Hart at Arden Road, or 24/7 at bassbunch.com.
Don't you just love it?
The Angelo State Rams football team turned in another dominant performance against Midwestern State at LeGrand Stadium in San Angelo last Saturday. The Rams led from start to finish and won that Lone Star Conference game 27-12. In his weekly press conference, head coach Jeff Gersh talked about the win and what he expects from the final regular season matchup against Western Oregon this weekend. Let's take a look.
Well, it was a great win, all around. I thought defensively, we played great football all day, and minus the last drive, we gave up a big run with some backups in, and that got in their last touchdown. But just really proud of it. I thought special teams, we were great. We blocked a punt for a touchdown. I thought that Cade Fuller punted the ball very well. He really did, and we protected it hard. It's when you run a shield punt like we do on things, teams decide whether they're going to come after that or not. And when they do come after it, you better have a good shield. And our guys up front did a great job of blocking people and in the shield and taking care of business there. But Cade just punted the ball fantastically, all day. And he's done that all year for us. He's been really good. So those two phases were great. You talked a little bit about offensively what we did, throwing the ball for whatever it was, 360 or whatever that number was. That was kind of out of necessity a little bit when they have, 7, 8, 9 in the box. They were going to stop the run. They saw what happened, the week before and our success on the ground against WT. And so they came in with a game plan and executed their game plan to stop the run a little bit. But at the same time, I thought we did a good job having enough run game to cause some problems, but put the ball in Gerald's hands a little bit, minus the one throw. He threw an interception that obviously wasn't a good throw, but I thought he played really good football all day as well, and our receivers and O-line blocking, pass protection did a great job. So really happy with the win. That's the thing. We talk about Angelo State football and offensively what we're going to do. Being able to do both, run and throw the ball, allows you to be successful on most given Saturdays, because you can do both if they're trying to take one away. It's hard as a defensive team, and being a former defensive coordinator as long as I was, to take two things away, that's tough to do. You can really make them focus on one and take one away, but if they're good at both, that's a challenge.
Angelo State's playoff hopes still hang in the balance, and it will be up to a committee to decide their fates. However, the Rams have one order of business they need to take care of before they can even be considered. They have to win on Saturday. The Rams host Western Oregon this weekend at LeGrand Stadium in San Angelo. Kickoff is scheduled for 6 p.m. And for more sports around the Concho Valley and beyond, be sure to check in every day at sanangelolive.com/sports.
That's gross.
Right now, get 15% off carpet cleaning from Carpet Tech.
Recording 3, 2.
Well, welcome back. I'm Joe Hyde, and I'm joined today via Zoom with Congressman August Pfluger. Been a lot of going on in Washington, D.C. And August, how are you doing today?
Joe, I'm doing great. It's good to be with you. And
well, the biggest question I have, I'm just going to let you wrap on this. We've had, when Matt Gaetz effectively fired the Speaker of the House, and you had to go through a couple of iterations of finding a new Speaker. Mike, and then of course we also have this problem in the Texas legislature where we basically have open warfare between the Republican lieutenant governor and the entire House of Representatives. Is there any leadership left in America? Kind of give me a sight picture of what you're seeing.
Well, of course there is. I'm excited to introduce Speaker Mike Johnson to the Concho Valley, to District 11. He's a strong conservative. He stands for fiscal responsibility, limited government, preserving our freedoms, a strong border, national security, the things that we as conservatives truly care about. Yes, we've had some hard times. We've gone through some hurdles. The challenges that we face around the world, just look at the fact that we've got several wars ongoing around the world. We're worried about what the Chinese Communist Party is doing. These things are top of mind. What you see, what the media sometimes portrays, isn't always the full story. In this case, it's not. But I think there is leadership that you're going to start to understand that this process is messy. We didn't get here overnight. The Obama administration and now the Biden administration have taken us back decades on what it means to be a strong country, to deter would-be adversaries, to have an economy that is directly at our feet, in this case, in the Permian Basin. And they've done their best to assault those things and really weaken us around the world. There's virtually 70 to 75% of all Americans, regardless of political affiliation, feel the same. Joe Biden is the weakest president we've ever seen. And so how do we, unwrap that and move in a positive direction is hard. And there are disagreements within the Republican Party in Washington, D.C., but I will tell you, they're not all unhealthy. Some of them might be for selfish gain, but a lot of them are, how do we reduce our spending and how do we reemerge as the strongest country in the world? I personally am leading on the border security issue. That is the number one priority for us, but I've also got a lot of experience in terrorism in the East. And so when you see attacking innocent Israelis with a hatred toward Jewish is just completely unacceptable. And in the gap there, Joe, and leading our country to a place where we can be a good partner and a good ally, but while we still recognize the needs of our own country right here at our own border.
On Thursday, I believe, at Angelo State University, they're going to have a representative from the Cato Institute come in to discuss how this $34 trillion national debt is impacting our economy and our lives. And, that's something that really hasn't been brought to the forefront because we have so many crises. We have the war in Ukraine. We have the war with Israel. Previous we had COVID, things like that. When are we going to get serious about bringing that debt under control?
Well, Joe, Republicans are serious about this. It's a topic of conversation at every meeting that we have. Our new speaker is committed to this. Every chairman of the Joint Chiefs for the last 10 to 15 years has rightfully said that the greatest threat to our national security is our debt. These are hard conversations. Democrats have refused to have them. Chuck Schumer refuses to do anything about the spending. In fact, the Biden administration spent $7.5 trillion in the first 2 years. The fact that we won control of the House has already bent the curve in a positive direction, saving us money, and we need to do more. We're going to continue to have solutions on what it means to bring that debt under control, to use the power of the purse, to get the authority back to the legislative branch, because quite frankly, the executive branch has spent us into a point where we're all concerned that we could be bankrupt if we don't stop the hemorrhaging.
Now, following up on that question a little bit more, happier times. Obviously, the one of the ways to get that debt under control is to get more people engaged in their local government, and you have a kind of a fun way to do that with your annual. Now, I guess it's an annual tradition, Pfluger Fest. It's happening Thursday night at Cooper's Barbecue, 5 p.m. You're going to have Aaron Watson there. Tell me what got into you to want to have this kind of concert. We got about a minute left.
Joe, this is a free event. It's family friendly. Aaron Watson will perform at Cooper's Barbecue. The doors open at 5 p.m. Go to augustpfluger.com to sign up and RSVP. But look, in advance of Veterans Day, and thank you for your service, Joe, and to all those veterans out there. We have a great community of veterans. We want the patriotism and the feeling of being an American to sweep through the Concho Valley, to have a time to celebrate, to thank our first responders, to come together, not as Republicans or not as Democrats, but as Americans, to come together to celebrate this great country. Yes, we all know that there's issues and problems and challenges, but we're going to overcome those. This is the greatest country on earth, and it's a time on Thursday at Cooper's Barbecue to celebrate and to really come together as a great community. I think what our community does needs to be highlighted and showcased throughout the United States. This is an opportunity to come together with friends and family and to really celebrate this country.
All right, we got it. It just ended, didn't it? I can do an out. Congressman Pfluger, thank you very much. We'll see you there at Pfluger Fest Thursday at 5 p.m. Cooper's Barbecue, Christoffel, Texas. Thank you for coming on our show today. Now back to the studio.
When it comes to unique pieces you can't find anywhere else, KOS Diamonds and Coins is your one-stop shop. With over 24 years in the diamond and coin industry, KOS Diamonds and Coins is West Texas's choice for diamonds, jewelry, coins, silver, and gold. Owner Bill KOS stands by his work and offers free consultations, including estate jewelry. Don't just trust anyone with your valuables. Come see the staff at KOS at 1016 West Beauregard in San Angelo.
And that's it for news, weather, and sports. Be sure to keep an eye on the weather. We've got some rain coming in Thursday, and it's going to be much cooler heading toward the weekend. For the team here at San Angelo Live, I'm Yantis Green.